don't have that servant mentality and you think it's beneath you, then honestly, you're not ready to be a wedding and event planner. I can tell if someone's dedicated or not. You have to be so humble that you can serve others, because sometimes you're tired.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're burned out. Not because you don't have passion, not because you don't love what you do, but just because many people are walking on earth and don't know what they're supposed to be doing.
They don't know their calling.
They don't know their calling.
Welcome back to another episode of the Deepdive podcast. Today I'm here with a powerful lady. She's called the Dot Connector, also known as FTK. Faie Kemi is a multi-award winning international event producer and the visionary founder of FTK Connect Events, bringing over 19 years of experience to the global stage. Known worldwide as the Dot Connector, she has built powerful experiences that unite people, brands, and communities across continents. She is also the founder of the globally recognized Valentine's Experience, Bond With Me, a 10-year legacy celebration that concluded with its unforgettable 007 grand finale. Help us welcome Ms. Faie Kemi.
Hi.
Hi.
So happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you.
So, we're going to dive deep into it. There is so much we have to discuss today. But the first thing I want to know is, what has your mission been for the last decade?
Wow. Mission as a wedding and event planner, or for just the Bond With Me itself?
Let's start with the event planning, then we'll get to Bond With Me.
Okay, so I've been a wedding and event planner for the last 19 years. And so I would say maybe the last 10 years has just seen me curating more of the flagship event that we do, the Bond With Me 007. But I think the mission and the goal has been the same over the years, whether it be 10 years, 18 years, 15 years, 10 years, 10 years ago, which is basically to just say exactly what you said, which is connecting the dots of every single event that I do. I'm very into just ensuring that every single event is what the client wants, the mission, the vision, the goal, whatever their idea is. We help curate it better and just make it exactly what they want.
The vision. Hi guys, I'm so happy to announce that we are at our 1,000 subscriber mark. Yay! And we're so happy that you have been supporting our page. I am truly honored that you consistently watch our videos and subscribe and turn on your notification bell. It really makes a difference. I hope that you can continue to do so. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and just be sure to leave a comment. It helps us. It really helps me know exactly what you like, and it helps me go further, get more guests, and just keep soaring to bring you guys amazing content and authentic experiences. Thank you and enjoy your episode.
It's really hard to generalize because every event is very much, just different. I know sometimes to the onlookers, it's a 40th or a 50th or a wedding or a conference, but for every single event, the people and the way that they apply themselves and what they do is very, very different. And so the outcome most times are. And so to say the mission the last few years is really, the general idea is to connect the dots of every single event that we plan. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's amazing. That's wonderful. And how long have you been in this industry?
That's a good question. I guess I answered that before.
Yeah.
It was I turned 19 years in the industry December 31st of 2025. So the anniversary of the of being a wedding and event planner is December 31st of every single year.
So why event planning? Why is this like a special thing? What is your calling to us? Because I think event planning is so stressful. I cannot. I'm telling you, I hate hosting because I hate planning.
Okay.
So I feel like it's such a stressful thing to do.
Yeah.
So why event planning?
Honestly, I should probably answer that saying that I was a financial consultant and I still I feel like that still helps in what I do on a daily. Started off as a financial analyst into a consultant position. And while my everyday life is about computing numbers and making sure that the budget and things work, I've always, I honestly want to say that I was born to be a planner. I know that that sounds crazy, but I guess everybody really does have what they're meant to do and what their strong suit is and what they enjoy doing. It is a very stressful job. I will not deny that fact. I will not deny that. It is definitely very stressful. But I wouldn't do anything else. Like I've searched in my soul, in my heart, like what else is there to like what else do I want to do? I feel extremely fulfilled. I love meeting people. I love striking up conversations. Just
Yeah.
like this is the first time we're meeting.
Yeah.
And to me it's just organic with the people, with the right people. So the only thing I would say is while event planning is stressful, if you have the right clients and you have the right, right client basically and the right vendors, it
Yeah.
really is a breeze. I know you're not going to believe it,
Okay.
but I promise you it is. So why not event planning is what I would say.
I see. It's like finding the needle in the haystack because you have to go through so many, I guess, especially with the vendors.
Yeah.
Disappointing. When a vendor disappoints on an event, it all comes back to you. Nobody worries about like, oh, it's the vendor, it's not her fault. It's like, okay, you did not do a good job. You did not deliver what you said you were going to. So
That is why I'm very, very picky on the vendors that we use and for every single event. For the most part, I'm a full wedding and event planner, so it means that majority of my clients actually hire me to plan their events from top to bottom. So there are on few occasions that I will have clients who are like, "Oh, I've already planned majority of my wedding or majority of my event. I just want you to kind of like connect the dots of the last couple of months." Personally, people may not like that I would say this, but honestly, I don't take a lot of those jobs because most times they've planned a heap of mess and they just want a miracle worker to come and wave the wand and fix the issues, but it's
Yeah.
already deeply rooted in the foundation. So very few times, unless the money is right and I feel like I'm not going to be too stressed and I'm like, oh, let me reconsider. Maybe I will do this,
Yeah.
this is only 2 or 3 months before the main event. But no, truly, when you have the right vendors and your client trusts you and they can allow you to be who you are, to get the right set of vendors for their events, honestly it's a breeze. What seems to be very complex is when there's lack of communication and when the vendors are different people is hire them. Maybe the cousin of the celebrants is bringing somebody. Oh, we have this caterer we have to use in our family, and I'm not opposed to it because I have to vet all vendors anyway. So I'm open to having other people recommend vendors as long as I can vet them and I can tell. Maybe because I've been
Immediately.
doing this for
Yeah.
years. I can tell if someone's dedicated or not, if they're, So honestly, like I said,
Yeah.
if you have the right vendors, I've not had issues. I'm trying to think, and I'm sure there's an example for every type of question that there is. But I've typically not had issues where the clients are like, "Oh my God, this is now your fault," because a
Okay.
vendor dropped the ball or whatever the case is. Because I'll do my due diligence and make sure that I'm getting the right vendors for the job.
Yep. So that doesn't even have to come up.
Exactly.
Okay, so this podcast, a Deep Dive, seeks mainly to inspire its viewers and to connect and to provide a space where our audience can relate to the guests that we bring, or they can see themselves through the guests that we bring. With that in mind, right? Who do you seek to inspire? And who do you think is someone out there that should be able to watch this episode? Like, who do you, in what you do, right? Like, who are you looking at and saying, like, if one person could learn this from me, I would be very happy.
Interesting. Okay. So really and truly, I go about my day-to-day job
Yeah.
being the best that I can. I don't think I've really sat down to be like, who am I inspiring? I've definitely had a lot of testimonies, and I've trained up and coming wedding and event planners. I've actually had classes on my website. It's called We Workshop by FTK, and it's just Weddings and Events Workshop by FTK. That's just what the We stands for. And before COVID, I think I've completed like 7 or 8 classes, and I've actually done some in Nigeria as well, which is where I'm from. So I've done in the city of Lagos, in the city of Ibadan, and also in Abeokuta. So I've had the classes in various places also in the United States. So in that aspect, when people actually started talking to me like, oh, can you teach this and da 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 da.
Yeah.
And so that was how that came about. I didn't even think, oh, let me start inspiring people, right? But I do get occasions where people are like, oh my God, you totally inspire me. I want to be a wedding and event planner. What I always say has
Yeah.
remained the same no matter where I'm at and no matter what platform I'm speaking on. You truly, truly have to have the heart to want to help people. Otherwise, seeing the glitz and glam of a wedding planner or us being a part of like a luxurious day of maybe a celebrity, or even if it's just a regular client but they have loads of money and we just created like this paparazzi event, and you think that that's what event planning is, my dear, several seats. Take several seats, because honestly the heart of what we do is very servant-y. I don't even know the right word to say, but you have to be very service oriented.
Yeah.
Very ready to help. Very Our job is actually not as glamorous. Behind the scenes, we do a lot of work. But over the years, because I know how to curate things, I know how to present it, I know my standard, I know what I can accept and what I cannot. We've created our own standards of what we can and cannot do. But at the core of what we do, we're service oriented. And so for me, if someone's sitting there and watching this and wants to be inspired, going
Yeah.
back to your question,
Yes.
I would say first and foremost, think to yourself that, am I someone who wants to serve others? If you're not a servant, if you don't have that servant mentality and you think it's beneath you, then honestly, you're not ready to be a wedding or an event planner.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is, after many, many years,
Yes.
people respect you and know that this is what you do, and they're not going to talk to you in any kind of way. But you have to be so humble that you can serve others. And I would say, if you're looking for inspiration, start off being a servant person.
Yeah.
And then go from there to trying to help people to plan their events.
And I would think you also have to be very patient, right?
I had to learn patience the hard way.
Yeah.
So coming from someone who is not naturally patient, I want to say that if you're also not if you're not naturally a servant, you
Yeah.
can learn to become a servant.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that you're taking all kinds of rubbish from everyone, but it just means that you have a serving mentality. Like, you want to help and serve and, create solutions for other people. However, I can tell you right now, I am not a patient person, but in the course of my doing what I do, I've had to learn how to pace myself and be more patient than I naturally am. So in my day-to-day life, I may not be as patient, but as a wedding and event planner, I was like, okay, this is one of those things. Let me take it easy.
Let me breathe. Let me decompress.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. That's really great. So, I mean, what I'm thinking back here is just you have to love what you do.
You have
and you
to.
need to have a heart of service
You really
where
do.
you are willing to help other people and you're willing to make a difference. And I feel like we keep kind of hearing this. I keep hearing this among the episodes that we're having, because everyone who is like making a difference in their industry, whether it be event planning or nightlife or real estate or insurance or solar panel, whatever it is, it all comes from a place of we want to help, we want to make a
Exactly.
difference.
Exactly.
And I feel like that has to be the calling for you to stick to what you're doing. If that's not the calling,
Yes.
it's not going to be worth it.
Exactly.
Because you're going to be stressed, you're going to feel frustrated, it's not going to work out, you just get tired, you get burned out.
You get burned out. You have to have that mentality of what can I do for someone else? How can I help? How can I be of service? Because if you're thinking mainly about you consistently, yeah, that's where it becomes tiring because what are you doing for others?
You know, yeah. You have to, it has to be something bigger than you.
Exactly. Yes,
Okay.
girl.
Okay, so is there anything in event planning that you feel needs to be discussed more broadly? Like, is there something that you're like, you wish this was addressed a little bit more in the event planning industry?
Huh. There's so many. There's so many things.
Good.
Yeah, it's such a good question. It just depends on what type of event at
is.
hand it is. So it may not be, you know, it cannot be a broad response to that. But for me, I
I was
always
going
say
to say,
that.
let's start with weddings because that's
Okay.
the most popular.
Yes.
Let's do weddings.
Okay. And weddings happen to be at least 90% of what I do. And so I love love. I love when people are like falling in love and the whole 9 yards. So I love love. So I love weddings. And so for me, again, weddings can also still be further broken down. I know that people that are not wedding and event planner don't get it, but there is cultural,
Yes.
diverse. There's also, weddings that are based on two people who are coming from two different walks of life. And so depending on what their culture is, are they completely Americans, both sides, or are they of, African descent, or are they more African? Those things are things that you now have to narrow in on and then answer those questions. So, for example, the African weddings where the couple is the first generation, maybe American or African American, so to speak, not, as Africans. Your parents are Africans and then the kids are, were born and raised here. Most of the African parents, are very involved in the weddings.
They are.
And so me talking about that wedding and what could change there will be different from me talking to my American clients who their entire descent is completely American.
I see what you mean.
So that's why I'm like,
Yeah.
these things can be further broken down, and there's no really one shoe fits all answer for everyone. But for me, because I do a lot of cultural weddings, I would say, although I hate to box myself in because I'm very, very diverse as well. And I've done a lot of diverse weddings. But for the most part, I would say maybe doing cultural weddings, I've realized that the parents are the issue. Point blank. The parents are the issue.
Not surprised.
Most times, because of the cultural backing of an African wedding, parents think that the wedding is for them.
It's for them.
So while they know that it's their kids getting married, they put a lot of their self into the wedding. Like it's a prestigious thing for them. And as such, sometimes even if they're sponsoring the wedding, they don't care to see what the couple wants. It's more about them, their friends, and what they're doing. I would love that culture to completely change. In fact, if I could like just snap my finger and have that change, that would be my number one thing that I would love to see go away. Let us listen to the couple. Let us hear what they want. Maybe they don't want a flamboyant wedding. Maybe they just want it to be an intimate but extremely luxurious event or wedding. And sometimes they really do want to do destination weddings, but the parents are like, over my dead body.
They have to tie gele.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is it because of
We
you?
use it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just always about the parents, and I really don't like that culture.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be more about the couple. Let them decide who they want. And even with the friends of the parents, I always tell people this. They're always like, "Are you sure you're African?" I'm like, honestly, even your immediate cousin, if you haven't spoken to them in 6 months, a year, do not feel the need to invite them to the wedding. Let them watch it on social media. Thank God for social media. Make your wedding exclusive. Let it not be for everyone. Let people see what they could have been, and maybe they'll get closer to you. You don't have to invite everyone. And the way that I always tell people this, and this can be generalized, is the way to think about your invitation is if I bump into you, Raisha, at Columbia Mall, and we're like, hey, what's up? Oh, I'm just gonna go grab lunch, and I don't invite you to lunch, meaning I'm not thinking about paying for your lunch. Why am I inviting you to my wedding? Because now you have to think about your overall total wedding budget. If it's 80 grand for
Yeah.
decor, this and da da da, da, and you spend $1 million, divide that by the number of guests. That's how much you're spending on each guest. And are they worth it? Maybe not. That should change. Yeah. And I'm not saying don't love people, don't invite your cousins, don't invite your aunties, but would they do the same? Yeah, yeah.
Oh God, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a tough conversation to have because if you don't invite them, even just like normal regular event, it's like you
Yeah,
didn't
but
invite me. Even though we haven't spoken in over 4 months, you would never think to say, "Hey, are you okay?"
Yeah.
Yet you want to be invited to every single meaningful
Exactly.
event.
Yeah, and I feel like people should be more understanding because there
Yeah.
are budgets for this reason. We all cannot make each other's events. That's why we have social media to admire and comment. But I feel like the pressure needs to be released. Like, I love intimate weddings, but I really love large weddings, but let it make sense.
Yeah.
There has to be a limit. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Yeah.
And I also think with social media right now, there's a pressure, right, for it to be like luxurious and flamboyant. It has to be a lot of people. You know, it has to make a statement. It has to shake the internet.
Hey, shake their legs, yeah.
You know, it needs to make a statement. But I like that. I like the points that you mentioned. I think those are things that I didn't even think of.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I'm not an event planner. I'm not married yet, but it definitely makes sense. I definitely see people who are planning their weddings be very like stressed out, trying to please everybody, trying to make sure everyone is included, trying to make sure everyone is okay. And it's just very hard to do. It's not going to happen. And ultimately it's your day. You know,
Exactly.
you should be the happiest person
Exactly.
on that day and not worried about what every other person thinks but you.
Exactly. I agree.
Okay.
100%.
Alrighty, so let's talk about Born With Me.
Hey.
So, I know you mentioned you love, but why did you start it, and why do you think it's lasted 10 years?
Girl, I remember the first one. Who was even thinking about the second year?
Yeah.
I think I remember doing the first one and I was like, I'm never doing this again. I was like, oh my God, it was a lot. It was a lot of work. It's been 10 years and I cannot believe it. Like, I'm still telling everybody, please pinch me. Like, how, where? So Born With Me 007 started out of the general idea that only churches did Valentine's event. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with weddings. Valentine events. So with Valentine's Day event, it was always church organizing it, different churches, and people will come in their boring gowns with the boring food and the boring games, and it's like nobody really wants to be here, but there's nothing else that's happening. So where else would they go?
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, we could actually change things up. We could literally get people to dress up, look nice, change up the vibe of Valentine's Day, let people feel like they're going to the Grammys or to like the Vanity Fair, let them, feel like, oh yes, let me put my love on display, or let me
Yeah.
just have fun, forget about if you have kids, or if you just are. I always say this, everybody looks at me crazy, like, how can you be planning Valentine's? I've been talking about divorced people. I'm like, because they're human, right?
Yeah.
They're still looking for love. So if you're divorced, if you're single, whatever it is, you want to hang out with your friends, you want to go out, girls' night out, whatever the case is, the goal is for you to go out and have a meaningful, different, it should not look like every day.
Yep.
And so that's the difference that I wanted to make when I thought about it. Well, it's been almost 12 years now. Actually, it's been 12 years that I thought about it, and we executed it
2
10 years
years
ago. Yes. 2 years after.
after.
Exactly.
That means you
So,
were planning this for 2 years.
yeah, basically.
You're
I
very
was.
meticulous.
Very. Help me. I'm a
Yes.
recovering addict.
I think you have to be. I think you have to be.
I'm addicted to
Finance
like,
person and event
yes.
planner. Come on, you have to be
Yeah.
very meticulous.
Yes, yes. But yeah, it's been 10 years and I cannot believe it. Every year we've had different themes and yeah, I can't even believe we're here, but I'm super glad that we're here and I'm still finding at a high of people still saying you're going to do it next year, which absolutely I'm not. For sure, I will not be.
I know. You named this year the finale, so I don't even know.
Yes,
There's no hope for next year.
there
You're
is
like the
none.
finale.
It is the finale.
Yes.
I was on a live IG live recently, and I was telling them, the couple there, I was like, feel free to take it over. I will not have any bad blood at all because I don't even have it in me to want to do it anymore. And it's not a negative. It's
Yeah.
just like it's reached its peak. And I'll tell you why. I think you still ask me those. I don't know what your questions are.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so I'll tell you why. Africans in general, and not that I'm catering to them, but they seem to have gravitated towards this event, don't value Valentine's Day, period.
Yeah,
Period.
I was just about to say, when you said that you don't want it to be like every other day,
Yeah.
I was like, I guess that's what's going to make it like different.
Yes.
Because everyone is like, well, it's just another day. It's like, it's not that special because they're not doing anything really special or out of the ordinary.
Right.
Maybe like going on dinner or traveling, but it's like it's not out of the ordinary. But when you say like dressing as though you were going to the Grammys, you know, you're
Yes.
putting your
There's-
A game. It's like okay,
Exactly.
this
Put
is
an
different.
effort in it.
Yes.
Put an effort in it. You're coming to a place where, you know, there's like you can network with other individuals. Most people that come to the event are business owners. You know, they could dialogue there. They could you know, experience something different. Yeah, so I don't know, but no matter what we've done, every year it's been successful, which is great.
Amazing.
But it's also has had its share of challenges and trying to convince people this is why you should come and you should totally be a part of it. And people really enjoy it when they come. It's just the stress of getting the people there. You know, girl, I'm
Getting
just
the word
like,
out.
you
Like,
know,
come, it's gonna be worth it.
Exactly.
But I was reviewing and I was looking at this year's team and it was like James Bond
Yes.
theme and I was like, oh my gosh, like that's nice. Tell us a little bit more about this year's theme.
So this year, as with every other year, we've kind of had some sort of James Bond flair. But every year we try to, you know, play into one of the movies and just create our own play on words. And so for us this year, we were just giving it a cinematic James Bond ending. That's what it is. And we're just like, we're going to create that vibe where we just recently completed the one in Lagos, which was a huge success.
Yes.
And the one in Baltimore, you know, we're just really excited to have it.
Yes.
And, you know, definitely the James Bond, one of the reasons why we chose James Bond as the flair for each of the event theme the last 10 years is because he always had somewhere extravagant to go in every movie.
Yeah.
And he's always going with a Bond girl and or meeting a Bond girl there. And, you know, there's a poker game. There's, you know, there's always something that gives it like, yeah, I'm not going to a basic place. And so that's why we actually chose it. And so we've just had a play on words every single year.
Okay. Well, let's talk about this package. Okay.
Yes.
Tell us what this is.
So what this is a curated invitation for our VIP guests, and anyone that's a special guest of honor gets this packaged invitation. In it is just a little bit of goodies that remind you of Valentine's Day, as well as the actual curated invitation. It's handcrafted with love.
You're a lover girl.
I'm a lover girl.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yes.
So this is the invitation, right?
Is.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And this year, if you were watching the Lagos edition, we had the dress code be all black, and then the decor around it was mostly white, which is why we had black and white. I'm very meticulous with certain details, truly. And then, so what we had done was we created the same invitations because we had the grand finale, the final slate, Lagos, and then the grand finale of the final slate, Maryland, right? So what we did was, since we are doing all black in Lagos,
Yeah.
we're doing all white in America. So we decided to just make it both black and white, black and white. So that's what the invitation is. And the details were just slightly different. One was February the 6th and the other one is February
February
the
14th.
14th.
So
Yes.
it's in Maryland is on February the 14th.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And this is like really well made. You're
Thank
definitely
you.
very meticulous. I mean, it's not your regular invitation. Of
It's
course, you can
not.
see it, and there's a little, you open it and see what is in it. So
Yes.
this is really well made. And then
Thank you.
after we have like goodies,
Yes.
dailies, smash blackberry, like a frozen cocktail.
Yes, it is. So it needs to be
So
in the
we're gonna have
freezer.
fun.
Yes.
And then we also have a calm tree blend mindful sparkling drink for those
Yes.
who are non-alcoholic.
Exactly.
And some dark chocolate. Oh, I love
Yes.
dark chocolate.
Yeah.
And
Cupcake with a heart.
with a heart. So cute. You're so intentional. That's amazing.
Very.
And then of
very.
course we have an apple cider.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Thank
so
you.
everyone that bought the VIP, this is the package that they will be
This
receiving.
is the package they would be receiving. So they get a pre-event package, curated invitation. They get to sit in the front row with our celebrities, and sometimes we have some political, people that come to, and then of course they get a favor to go with them, and their VIP invitation. Thank you card is always slightly different. So our VIPs get a little bit of a special
More.
treatment, but of course, every single guest that's there is a distinguished guest. So everyone's,
Everyone is special.
everyone's taken care of. Everyone's special.
You're gonna be a little special.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
So, oh, that's amazing. This episode might not be out before the event, so you would definitely see behind the scenes because I'm gonna be going to the event.
Yes.
So you see behind the scenes of what it looks like. Unfortunately, if you've never attended,
This
you
is
just
the
have to
grand
leave
finale. Yeah.
through this episode and other videos. I know I'd asked you this, but what is next? We need something else. You cannot get us hooked up to celebrating, like a red carpet gala event and then just leave us alone.
I know, right?
So
It's crazy because I was talking to an out of town client, and she's like, "What do you mean this is the grand finale? Like,
Yeah.
we're just gearing up to start coming every year. We want to get tickets. We want to fly out. We're gonna get hotels." I was like, "Oh well." It is over after this one.
Yeah.
But one thing I could tell you for sure is we're always thinking up a storm. And so we will be storming the DMV and other locations within the United States for a curated experience that we're thinking will be either spring or summer. It's definitely not going to be this year because we're obviously just finishing the grand finale in Lagos and of course here in Maryland. So we're thinking maybe from 2027.
Okay.
We'll do something special that will be more, it wouldn't be so specific towards Valentine since not a lot of people value it. It's because of you we're finishing this. We're wrapping this up. But we will look into doing something special, something different, red carpet gala, dress up, the whole 9 yards experience. It will not be anything less than what we've done the last 10 years with Bond With Me. It would just be more generalized and different. And we wanted it to be a little bit warmer. We keep hearing that it's cool, but that's why James Bond theme.
Yeah.
Come warm it up on the dance floor. But we're taking a lot of feedback over the last 10 years. Again, it's been a major success. We're definitely sad to see it go, but we're definitely excited to come up with something new that everybody will be able to be a part of.
Yes. And plus, that one dress that you haven't worn. We all have that dress where it's like you don't really have the right place to take it to because you might be overly dressed or it might be, you're like, this is the time, to bring out your underbox, how do they say it? It's in pidgin, the clothes that you've been keeping.
Under the
And you're,
luggage.
you're under the
Yeah.
luggage
Yes.
garments. Like,
Yes.
okay, go and
Bring
get
it out.
and
Right.
come and wear.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely looking forward to what you have planned.
Yes.
Unfortunately, this is just the first time I was hearing about it. I was like, have I never heard about this?
Yeah.
And so thank God you're doing something for us
Yes.
who are just getting informed of this. And we'll definitely keep track. We'll definitely stay
Absolutely.
updated. We'll definitely stay
Absolutely.
updated. So what has been your most unforgettable moment with Born With Me?
Oh my
007.
God. Oh my God. The most okay, definitely have one. The very first year of Bond with Me 007, I will never forget when we put it out there on Eventbrite. I don't even think we used my website the first year. We put it on Eventbrite, and the overwhelming response was,
Wow.
it took me aback. It made me realize that this was just not a hunch. It was needed. The very first 3 years of Bond with Me 007 were not people that I mostly knew. It was maybe 30 to 40% of people I knew and 60 to 70% of people I did not know.
Wow.
And the first year I was literally flabbergasted, like in the best way possible. We had about 4 or 5 people who took trains from Connecticut, New York, New Jersey. And I
Wow.
was like, wait, how did I hear about this?
Yeah.
And honestly, it was just on Eventbrite, and people really went out there and came to this event. It was the most diverse. The very first year, I mean, you saw all kinds of, people from diverse backgrounds. I mean, visibly that you could see, and you're like, wow, it was
Yeah.
amazing. It's my that first year was the most unforgettable moment that I had, because I remember thinking, what if I didn't even plan this event?
You know?
Where would all these people be? How would I ever meet them if I didn't think about this? And till date, I still really, I reflect on the amount I've met thousands of people, because every year it's always between 200, 250. I think the most we've had is like maybe 260 guests in 2019. And then sometimes it's 150, 180. We try to keep it, because the goal has never been to be at 500 guests. No, we're not. We want it to be an experience. But I'm telling you, how would I have met this thousands of people if we never did Bond with Me 007?
Yeah.
So the people that we've met along the way, the memories we've curated with these people will forever stay with me.
Yeah. And I feel like that might be why you did it for 10 years.
I know.
That might have been the calling factor, because you're like, well, the first time was so good. All these people, where would they have been? And then you're like,
I'm
I'm just going to
telling
keep
you.
doing this.
I'm telling you, we had people who were older couple who had been married for like 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
We had people who were like literally like young couple. I mean, it was just very diverse. All these videos are on my YouTube. So
Yep.
people
Yep.
can watch it and see and live vicariously through
Through.
all the years that we've put it together.
Okay. So as we are wrapping up,
Okay.
so if your 9-year-old self were listening to you today, what would she be the most proud of? And what would she tell you to continue working on?
My 9-year-old self as a little girl, or 9-year-old self in Bond with Me the years that
As a little girl.
as a little girl.
Like seeing you now being all this successful woman that has achieved all these different things and is,
Okay. I
doing
like
these
that.
amazing things.
Okay, I will say that, my God, the tenacity, despite the challenges and craziness, and sometimes unpredictable, because you could put things out there and it can be received or not received, the way that you planned it.
Yeah,
So I would say that just the tenacity, the ability to receive feedback and better ourselves, the ability to be able to put a team together every time that we need to for whatever events that we're doing. I think my 9-year-old self will be super proud that I am following my heart and doing what I love to do. I don't wake up feeling like, ugh, I gotta talk to this person. You know, I like, for the most part, there are sometimes that we have challenging clients,
Yeah.
but for the most part, I love my clients. I feel like God just orchestrate my path to the right people.
Yep.
And so there are some clients, actually, I should do this shout out and say that there are some clients that we met on Instagram streets or Facebook streets, or they just bumped into my website and they booked me to do their wedding, and they've come to bond with me every single year.
Wow.
Crazy.
The big
One of
consistent.
the consistency.
Wow.
Yeah. So one of the things that, you know, I will forever be grateful for, if my 9-year-old self was looking at me, is just keep going regardless of how, because sometimes you're tired,
Yeah.
sometimes you're burned out, not because you don't have passion, not because you don't love what you do, but just natural human being, natural state
We're
of
humans.
yes, we're humans, right?
Yeah.
But truly, when you just light up 2-3 days after rest and you're like, this is still what I love, this is still why I'm here, I'm supposed to be helping people, girl, my 9-year-old self will be like, kudos, girl.
Like you found it.
Yes.
Kudos to you.
Because many people are walking on earth and don't know what they're supposed to be doing.
They don't know their calling.
They don't know their calling. And I found mine many years ago, and I'm very grateful that I get to do what I do, what I
This
love.
is your mission.
This is the mission.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, this has been amazing. I hope that someone out there watching, never think it's too late to start.
Never.
Right?
I agree.
A lot of
wholeheartedly.
So if you're looking into event planning, it's definitely not easy to do.
It's not.
But make sure if you have the calling for it, and if you do, it's one of those things that you just do because you enjoy doing it. Of course, you want to get paid for it, but before the money, you have to love what it is that you're doing. Yeah. And if that's the case, then we hope that you learn something or two from this. We hope that you're able to connect with FTK, visit her website. Now, how do people get in contact with you?
Okay.
How do people learn, or maybe you mentor them, the classes that you offer, the workshops?
All right, guys. So if you want to hear more about what we do, our website is www.FTK Connect, and Connect is with K. So we have 2 Ks, FTKKONNECT.com. And on social media, on any platform, it's FTK Connect, literally that. So you can find us on everything.
Every single platform.
Yes, yeah.
All right, well, I will be showing you guys behind the scene from Valentine's Day. And if you don't have anywhere to go, maybe make sure that you're up to date with the events from 2027 and that you're following her to make sure that you have somewhere special to be with your loved one.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching the Deep Dive podcast, and we'll see you on next episode. Bye.
Thank you, Raisha.
Thank you.